This is not a video we want to make, but I'm sitting in traffic.
From Kathy,
actually.
You can drive out here.
Okay, so I just got pictures and a little explanation that my dad had an engine failure and a hard landing at the Nampa airport. And oh my gosh, when you get news like that, I can't handle it. But anyways, he's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we crash our dirt bikes every whatever. Hopefully not every ride, but we crash a lot on dirt bikes. But when you have something happen in an airplane, I don't know, it's emotional. It hits different. This wasn't a crash, it was an engine failure on final and a hard landing. So it wasn't a crash. Real quick, as I'm editing this, I just wanted to clarify the FAA has two terms, crash and incident. And to summarize, crashes are severe, often involving significant damage or loss of life, which did not happen. And incidents are less severe, do not result in injuries or substantial damage. So this was not a crash, it was an incident. And I, in my emotional state, kept saying engine failure, but it was more of an engine out. It was not the engine didn't fail, it just turned off. We'll explain later in the video. Definitely a video we don't want to make, and I'm not even sure if I'm gonna post it. Oh, somebody's calling. I'm just at the airport, just pulling in, and that was a call from one of our friends that got a picture, so this is definitely going to be a public thing, so we might as well make a video and let you know our side of it. Because when the news gets a hold of it, it's always, they make it way worse or way more dramatic or way not the truth. We'll try to make a video and tell our truth of what's going on. I'm just looking for that yellow plane out here. She said I could drive all the way out on the airport taxiway. I don't see it yet. I know I'm gonna get a pit in my stomach when I do. Oh, there she is. I'm gonna get off the phone and call. Okay. Hi, can I just drive down the taxiway?
Is it okay if Sarah comes out here, like our daughter? Yeah, just have her put emergency lights on. Yeah, put your flashes on and stay off of the taxiway. Just, stay, to the edge of the taxiway, and you'll see us out here.
I see you down at the end. Okay.
Okay.
Coming down.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh, it's so sad. I guess I can't even, my heart can't handle it to think if he would have been injured. Alright, let's go see what we have.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi. Hi, Mom. Oh my goodness, you can't help but get that feeling when you see it though. And Joe Jr.'s here helping, so that's great. My phone's already been blowing up. People, is he okay, Dad? I'm so glad you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just bummed. Just bummed.
Mike Bernadelli called to make sure you were okay, because this is a very visible spot.
Oh, geez, yeah. And the fire department was here, and the police were here, and the FAA was here, and there had to be a couple news channels here, didn't there?
Oh, Dad.
It's already on Facebook.
It's on Facebook. Should I put it on his Instagram? I mean, then everyone in the country's gonna know. But they probably already do. So he came out here and put this little wheel on to balance it out so he can taxi, or not taxi, but tow it back.
Taxi? Taxi towed.
Old habits. So we can tow it back. I got it rigged up to tow it with the four-wheeler, but it didn't work. The wheel kind of buckled when it went like that. So they're gonna now try to get an all-terrain forklift out here to lift it by the fuselage, and then kind of like they do at Meridian Speedway, pull it off.
I mean, it's gonna be pretty controlled. Yeah. I'm gonna have it this way with the four-wheeler, just moving it. All he's got to do is just drive along, and it's going to bob up and down a little bit over the bumps, but
I like that.
I don't think it can do it.
Maybe we support it from here to here and just lift this off the ground.
Yeah, I brought a couple straps.
Yep, I like that.
Tim Shellhorn on the Great All, and he knows the airplane.
Yeah, I go way out, so. But here's, I put these on the porch. This is a slant, just so stuff can't slide. I'm just trying. I like to keep the sling from trying to walk it off. They can't.
Hey Tim.
Hi.
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 And I'm just going to make a big sweeping turn around here. And
Okay.
Thank you, Tim.
Yes.
Thanks for coming out.
Yes. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
I'm good. He's good. That's a good thing, right?
Thank you.
All's good, so.
Yeah. Hope this works.
This will work.
It'll work.
We'll find a way if it
We just got to take it easy.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine if we dropped it? I would start crying. I'm glad he has friends here to help. A lot of mechanical minds, so that helps.
Engineering minds.
Yeah, engineering minds. There you go, Mom. That's a weird pattern this guy's doing. But...
We're just trying to stay out of our way.
Oh gosh. Okay, somebody do something. Do you want to go hold? Okay, my dad just said yep, like that's what he wanted it to do. It looks pretty stable when he lifted it.
it does. Sorry.
Oh, you're in it. You're part of it. Like it or not.
Using my teeth?
Yeah.
You are.
It looks pretty stable. So Tim Shellhorn came and helped us out with his big all-terrain forklift, and they're almost back to the pavement. It went really well. So he's gonna be able to work on it in his hangar here. They just have to get it in this last little bit.
God damn, all right. I think
Yeah.
we can just let you off now.
That'll work really well.
Got it.
So you got to run it in like that, though. Yeah, because that doesn't pivot. Okay.
Wow, glad you're okay. It's an important part, remember? Yeah. Right?
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you. Okay, hold on. There we go. Do you want me to pick up prop? I help any? One more beautiful.
I got it back in the hangar. Back in the hangar, at least. That kind of a relief to have it at least in the hangar, you know, off the runway. So now he's gonna get to work. He's got a lot of support. Thank you all.
Hey, Steve.
Hi, Glenn. Hey, have you had a chance to look at those logs?
Oh, I checked a little while ago. I didn't see anything.
Oh shoot, I tried to send them an hour and a half ago.
Just refresh my email again here.
Let's send it again.
Well, let me try sending them again.
Can you put it on?
Oh, we got a problem.
Yeah, so lost fuel pressure.
Wow.
So I don't know why. I mean, I'll have to look into that. Well, I'll definitely look into this. See what. Only thing I could think is a fuel pump might have quit, but that's really unusual. But I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, maybe it's like mags where you're supposed to have them both on when you're in funny situations.
Well, a lot of
Both your
people.
fuel pumps on.
A lot of people do that, Glenn. They'll run both of them for takeoff and landing.
Yeah.
This thing still runs. That's the fuel pump I was on. Well, thank you, Glenn.
All right, I'm gonna try and make a nice picture for you here so you can see what what I'm seeing here,
Okay.
and I'll send it over here.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye-bye.
So it's been about 7 hours since he had a fuel pressure issue, the engine quit, and a hard landing. So he's been busy working on assessing the damage.
Right here is part of it. The gear leg is shot. Just the end on this shock strut is bent, so we'll replace that. And my little axle stub is bent.
And then, so that's the bolt-on parts. What about on the plane?
Yeah, we got a little bit of fixing to do on the gear leg attachments. And that's, oh, my wingtip got a little fixing on the wingtip. Really, really minor. I mean, the prop never even touched the ground. Didn't do anything to the wings. That's it. Those parts and a little fixing right here is basically it. The wingtip is just real minor too.
So
and then I just got to figure out why I lost fuel pressure.
it always looks so much worse when it's laying in the field.
Oh, and it's so frustrating at that time. I just like, my first thought was I'd just sell it to somebody and let them come and get it.
Oh,
But that didn't last very long. I always feel like that anytime if something like that happens though. It's like, I'm tired of this.
yeah. But he's back to it. He's on the phone with Tony for his gear leg.
Yeah. Emailed Marc and Ingegno about my axle. We'll get it, hopefully in a few days.
Pretty good news from what looked like a pretty bad news morning. So when I first heard you had a engine quit on final, my first thought was, why was it a hard landing? Because you're so good at stall. It's what you do all the time. You practice it all the time. So what happened this time?
That's a really good question. What I was doing was coming in from pretty high, just kind of, I was full flaps, just bringing it on down, going to land right on the end of the runway at an idle. And when it quit, I didn't realize I was getting that much thrust at an idle because my forward momentum just died. When that thing quit, it just blah. And my flaps, they're really big and they go down really steep. So when they're all the way down, if I don't have pretty good air moving over them, they're just a lot more drag than they are lift. And I know that. And when that prop stopped, that air, even at idle, these things blow more than you might think. They blow more than I was thinking that it was blowing. Because my forward motion really died. And so I brought the flaps up because I knew they were just nothing but dragging. I was already just falling and was able to kind of fly it down, but I don't know how high I was. I'm guessing about 100 feet. It wasn't very far off the end of the runway, and I was coming in pretty steep, so I think I was about 100 feet. And I kind of flew it to the ground, but there wasn't enough energy to really do a good flare, and it hit harder than the gear leg could take. And I hit kind of with the right side down. It didn't hit flat where it just evenly absorbed it. It drove it all into that right gear leg. Fortunately, it didn't do much of anything to the airplane. That I'm really glad.
And another thing I was asking you earlier, do you think this will change the way you approach?
Well, I think it needs to just a little bit. I should have realized how much thrust I'm getting at an idle because I used to turn my engine off and do actual dead stick landings all the time, and I got out of the habit of it. I don't even know if I've actually done it with this airplane. And I was getting more thrust than I thought at an idle, so when that thrust went away, it really changed it. So yeah, I should be coming in a little faster when I'm in that in between. And I always tell people, if you're going to slow fly, either be real high or real low. And I kind of broke my own rule without realizing I was doing it. So yeah, I need to do some reassessing and really think about this because I don't want something like this happening again.
No. Well, we're all really, really happy you came out okay, and your airplane, well, most of all that you're okay, but glad your airplane suffered minimal.
Yeah, me too. I've been getting texts and people stopping by, and everybody's, of course, glad I'm all right.
Yes. We're all so happy. So you should have it up and going here as soon as you can get parts, really,
yeah,
right?
we can get a gear leg. We should get a gear leg next week. This thing's from Italy, so that's the part I don't know about.
Oh yeah, the mining machined.
Yeah, I'd have to get one made here. Yeah, it should go back together pretty quick. If we get the parts, it's about a day or two.
And then also diagnosing why the fuel pressure quit.
Yeah, and there's not that many things that can happen on that. It can't be that complicated. You know, even though this happened because my engine quit, it's really not an engine problem. It's just a fuel delivery problem. There's not a thing in the world wrong with the engine, but I don't know if I have a bad fuel pump or a bad fuel regulator or something like that, but it's not an engine problem. I'm glad of that.
Yeah. Oh, and I was also going to mention that the FAA came.
Oh yeah, they were here. The FAA
police
was here, the fire trucks were here, the ambulance was here, the police were here.
We're hoping that Idaho's News Channel 6 wasn't here, but we're not sure.
Or 7 or 2.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll be watching for that because those guys always get it wrong.
They do.
I'm stopped, just so you know. I was just gonna say it's emotional. Like, even though he's okay, it's just emotional to see the plane like that and knowing 1,000 ways it could have been worse. Thank you all for the text. It's kind of hard to know if we should put it out there or not, but this being in such a high visibility area right at the Nampa airport on Happy Valley Road, everybody knows